Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live planning session number 5. I believe this is the last one, and I'm super excited because in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to show you what I wish I learned years ago. I have been, everything that I've learned with this planning and how to do it in this more organized and specific way using corporate CEO principles and applying it to my daily life has really opened my eyes to how much time I've been wasting. It's opened my eyes to how much more I can achieve in the 24 hours that I have, and how easy and in flow life feels when I have a plan for my next steps. So let me get into today, the live planning session day 5. I'm going to do a quick recap, and then I'll get into what I have written out for today. So let me bring up my strategy journal. So as a quick recap, the first thing we did at the very beginning on planning, on the first planning day, is we talked about what winning looks like for us. So actually, I don't know if I'm sharing this correctly. Give me a second. Well, this is fine for the review. So we talked about what winning looks like. We defined what a great life is. And then we went over how we set our focus using Ikigai, what we're going to focus on in 2025 and in the next 3 years. And then we went over visualize, which is what you're looking at right now. We visualize where we're spending our time so that we can actually see how we're going to plan and strategize how we're actually going to win, how we're going to achieve our great life, and how we're able to reprioritize. And then what I'm going to get into next is we talked about how we reprioritize how we're spending our time so that we can actually make room for our focus. So let me minimize myself and then show you what we're doing for today. So with the visualize, I showed you where I'm spending my time. Just for those who are just watching this for the first time, I plotted it on my importance and my satisfaction levels. And if it's high importance but low satisfaction, then I'm reprioritizing them so that I can do the things that I love more and spend more time in those things. And the areas where I have is high importance and low satisfaction low satisfaction and low importance, I want to remove that altogether. And then for things that are important but I'm spending too little time on, I want to expand the amount of time I'm spending in that. So what I did was, with my priority shift, I wrote down the areas that that are high priority, but I have low time in. So that would be physical activity and mindfulness, replenish my 6 months emergency fund, spend more time with my significant other, spend more time doing hobbies because I'm like super work and mom heavy right now. And then my low priority things were online entertainment, wanting to minimize those. And then activities for daily living, they're low priority and I'm not spending too much time in them, but I do want to change that up a little bit, and I'll get more into that in the next phase. So this next phase, now that we have visualized where we're spending our time and we have written down what we want to prioritize, what we want to shift in our day-to-day so that we make room for our focus so we can achieve our great life, I then come to this section where I write down the actions that I'm going to take. The actions I'm going to take to make sure I get to so that I can live in my reprioritization. So what I'm going to do to make sure my priorities shift and so that I can do the things that I want to do in 2025. So I have 5 actions to take. So one is swap online entertainment with health/mindfulness time. And I actually started that yesterday. I'll get more into that in a minute. I want to replenish my 6-month emergency budget. I want to spend quality date nights unplugged and away from screens with my husband. I want to launch a funnel for a second stream of income on January 6th to increase my activities of daily living. So that would be me being able to do more luxury things like more hair, nails, spa, all those type of things, just to make life a little sweeter. And then research and apply YouTube best practices to my podcast. So that will fall under the hobbies. So to do this now that we have set up what our focus and what our objectives are specifically, or not what shifts we're going to make in our priorities so that we could get to our focus. And so we have identified the actions we're going to take to shift our priorities. Now we need to break those down into smaller things, actually things I could do every single day to make sure I get to taking these actions. So, or the little stepping stones that get to a completed action, rather. So I have broken up those 5 areas, or those 5 actions I want to take, into smaller sections. And so I'm going to get into that. And these, you want to put the time you want it done, specifically what you want to do, and the time you want it done by. Adding a date makes it real. If you don't add a date, then you'd have just like this free flowing objective that you don't really know. You can just do it whenever. And then you're not going to be able to track progress if you don't set a deadline for it. So objective 1, after 2 p.m., spend time exercising and reading with Maverick. So again, replacing that time that I spend with her when I'm watching her, or we're playing together, there's generally TV on in the background. Even though we're learning, doing ABCs and singing songs, I want to quiet it down to just control our sensitivities, our sensory sensitivities, and being able to just kind of live in the moment more without a lot of noise going on in the background. So to do this, I want to, like I said, after 2 p.m., spend time exercising and reading with Maverick. By that time, I've done a lot of my work activities for the day, and I'm ready to kind of like take over her time, generally when I'm not in the middle of a project, which I am right now. So sans the project that I'm in the middle of, outside of my project time, this type of schedule makes sense. And 3 days, so my key results for me to achieve this objective is 3 days a week. I want to exercise between January 1st and March 31st, so the first quarter of 2025. I want to at least spend 3 days a week exercising with Maverick or without, but if she's up, then I'll exercise with her. If not, then I'll exercise by myself so that I could really hone in on this health and wellness routine I'm doing. I have been doing it in 2024. I haven't been exercising as much, but I definitely have been eating healthier and, doing my anti-inflammatory treatments and taking my vitamins, which have completely helped me just from an inflammation standpoint. Very low inflammation. So my body doesn't ache. I feel a lot more, I have a lot more energy. I feel like I can tackle a lot more things in life. And now it's time to go into the second phase where I do a complete transformation of my body externally. And then, so for this objective as well, I would need to dedicate exercise windows of 20 minutes. So have a window set aside for me to exercise after 2 p.m. And then I want to do any physical activity focused within that 20-minute time frame. So any physical activity that focused, okay, that's not written correctly. Any physical activity that's focused activity in the time window. The next objective, which covers my emergency fund that I want to prioritize, save 6 months of emergency fund by June 30th. And then I'll do this by saving my first month by February 1st, and then the option 2 is explore budget cuts and additional financial resources so we could save more. So we'll most likely be getting a tax return in 2025, hopefully. And if that's the case, then that will really help us to advance in our goal of saving 6 months of emergency fund. And 2 to 3 are great for your key results. You don't really need more than 3. But you can also do 2. Objective 3. So we'll cover the date nights, wanting to reprioritize my time to spend more time with my significant other. So have 4 unplugged days a month with special date nights on one of those days. So we have a very tight budget, and we calculate every dollar using the every dollar budget tracking system. And we want to start saving $50, saving enough for $50 date nights in our monthly budget by January 1st. So that would be about $200 a month for something small, going to the movie, going to have like something to eat, like nothing major. We have times where we do extravagant things, but just to keep it consistent so we can have some connection time that's not related to work or being a parent or anything else, where it's just like, downloading down I love download times. And then for key results, for the second key result, set an agenda for 52 questions as activities for the year. So something we struggle with is like, well, what do we do? Like outside of watching TV, something that will be interesting, that's not gonna take a lot of effort, and sometimes we're homebodies, we don't really like to leave the house that often. So what can we do as a homebody type of couple where we don't want to be out all the time? I 52 activities, so we have an activity to do every single week. We're really into like science things, so maybe doing some type of little fun little science projects at home, doing something where we could really maximize our interactions, like games and stuff like that, so that we can have conversations and make and create spaces for laughter, and we're not just like watching something, even though that's a good time and we laugh. Then too, we love comedy shows, so stuff like that. I'm rambling now. So objective 4, this will cover the hobby. So spend 2 hours a week learning how to optimize YouTube strategy until the end of Q1. So the reason why I have the hobbies on here is it is a mid to high satisfaction for me, but the reason why I want to prioritize it is I want to, if I'm spending this amount of time in it, I really want to maximize it. And for me to maximize the time and effort and money I'm putting into the podcast, I want to make it, what's the word? I mean, optimize is the only word that's coming to my mind right now, but I want to make it the best that it can be. And I want to dedicate that time to making it better, since I'm spending so much time, not so much, but spending time doing it. So my key result to achieve this objective is find 5 YouTube channels or podcast channels that are in my industry/topic and note the hooks and the titles, etc., from those videos. So the best way to learn how to optimize your channel or YouTube or whatever it is to see what other people are doing in your niche or in the thing you want to do, and then compile that information and come up with a list of what they're doing so that you can apply your own spin on it, your own touch, and then repeat that. And in the beginning, it's going to be copy paste until you get into the hang of it. And then you can start to have your spin off and have your own style, your own flavor type of thing, especially once you know what's working for your audience. So then the key result 2 is adjust our YouTube settings and podcast settings and posting times. So those are the things that we're going to do, that I want to do to help optimize and make my hobby time more impactful. And the podcast is under a hobby, but there's also a few other things I'm doing that can fall under that. My YouTube channel that I'm reigniting. And then objective 5, this is for the activities of daily living, the part where I want to spend more time or spend more time on myself and my self-care, doing spa, hair, nails, acupuncture, massages, all the luxury things. And I said in the session 4 that in my household, our goal is to create a stream of income for any luxury thing we want to have or do. And so for me, I want to launch a funnel for a second stream of income on January 6th. And I already have that basically done. I'm in the middle of launching a business management system for interior designers. And this is from all the way from accepting leads to wrapping somebody up into your referral program and everything in between, literally step by step on how to run your interior design business, soup to nuts. So that is but just about ready to go. And I want to launch my first webinar by December, I think I want to say December 11th, not the 4th, because it could be sooner, December 11th or sooner, because I'm just about ready to do the webinar for that business management system. And then the second result is add business management kit to materials to my Kajabi by December 15th and be ready to go live with the product by January 1st, where people can actually use it and get to it right away. So now that we have these set, we know where we're spending our time. We set where we're going to reprioritize our time. We then wrote out what the actions we need to what are the actions we need to take to make sure we can get into so to make sure that the repriorities we set are going to come to life. And then we set step by step how we're going to make those actions happen. Now that we have all that, we have to make sure that we have accountability, because we could say all this, we could say we're going to do this. Like me doing this live right now, this is my accountability. I've already put it out there for friends, family, and strangers to see. And it was imperfect. And I'm okay with that, because this is my first time doing this. This is I like to see it as my rough draft, but this is the beginning of my story of how everything that I'm creating, that I'm sharing with you today, what it's going to look like a year from now. And as part of my accountability challenge, my husband for one, but then my Facebook group. Everything, this whole life strategy thing is I've created a Facebook group for it. So if you're down to grab a copy of this, I've pinned it in my messages or my post on Facebook. Grab a copy of this planner and do the exercises. Watch the lives that I've done to see how I answered the questions, so they can help guide you on how to answer the questions. And then join the Facebook group, and we can be each other's accountability partners, because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of having year after year having these loose goals or these agendas that I set for myself, and I make it there slightly, but I have no time to waste. This is not a season for fluff. This is a season for getting after it, and getting shit done, essentially. So with that, I'm going like all balls to the walls and making sure that I get to the end, get to my finish line with a gold medal in hand. I don't want bronze this year. So rewards and consequences. So also having something at stake, something to look forward to. Like after this, I get to do XYZ. For me, that's doing an extended vacation in LA and having a blast on the beach. My daughter has not been to California yet. That is where I'm from. That's where I need her to see where she comes from as well. We've been, she's also a Texan. So we have definitely experienced a good amount of that. I want her to experience a lot of the environment that I grew up in. And so having an extended vacation where my husband and I could both not have to be bound to a desk, where we could work from anywhere, or at least for this vacation time, an extended vacation time, that is my reward for achieving these things. And then setting a weekly check-in time. Like every week, you're going to check in on this life strategy plan and see how close you are, how far you are away, what you need to adjust, and all that to get to so that you can reach your goals, reach the objectives that you set for 2025. And this is something, I have this plan set for the next 3 years. This is going to be my source of truth. When I'm looking at where I'm going for the next 3 years, I'm going to look back at this life strategy journal. I'm going to redo it at the end of every year to see what I need to update. Maybe I've achieved everything that I have on this thing in the next 6 months. Maybe not. But it's at the end of the years when you refresh it and you see the things that you've achieved, you take that off and you add new things. If you haven't achieved it, maybe adjusting, maybe you're looking more macro, you need to be a little more micro so that you can actually achieve the things that you've written down. So my check-ins will be Wednesdays at 11, and that's when I plan to do my lives in my Facebook group, where I go over the week by week where I'm at with my goals that I've set forth. And along the way, I'll be updating. I don't know if I'm going to do lives every single day, but I am going to be updating I'm going to be updating on my journey, my day in the life of going after my life goals and achieving what's in this life strategy journal. So thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, if you've watched all 5 of these, thank you so much. This is, like I said, this is my rough draft phase of this. And this Everything that I've done here is free. You can access it on my page. Also, follow me at Liani Hunter, my YouTube channel. I'll try to link that somewhere as well, because I'm going to redo this series in a more refined way and make it a 5-day challenge, so you can get it taught in a way that's not so like loosey goosey. I'll be more structured in that, and hopefully you can give me some feedback so I can improve on the YouTube series I'm going to do for this. So again, I'm rambling. Thank you, and let me know if you need me to fill in any information. And I cannot wait to share this journey with you. Bye. Thank you.